On this day of July 9th, 2006, it was a lovely morning at Kings Island, which is located just outside of Cincinnati, Ohio. The sun was shining brightly and families were eagerly making their way to the amusement park to spend the day filled with fun and laughter. The air was vibrating with excitement and eagerness for what was to come. Nevertheless, what seemed like it was going to be a day like any other rapidly took a turn for the worse. On the popular ride, Son of Beast, an accident took place, and as a result, 27 riders received injuries. A day that began with happiness and entertainment turned out to be one that concluded with sadness and distress for those 27 people. But the real question is, what led to this tragic incident? How did a day of fun turn into a nightmare? And could this accident have been prevented? This is the story of a tragic incident of Son of Beast that injured 27 people at Kings Island. Son of Beast was a roller coaster made of wood that could be found at Kings Island in Mason, Ohio, located in the United States. The RollerCoaster Corporation of America, RCCA, which is no longer in business, was responsible for the construction and design of the ride, which opened to the public on April 28, 2000. As the tallest and fastest wooden roller coaster in the world. With a height of 218 feet, 66 meters, it established a new record and became the world's first wooden hypercoaster, which is defined as having a height class of at least 61 meters, 200 feet. The roller coaster was also the first in contemporary period to include a vertical loop, and it attained a maximum speed of 78 miles per hour. 126 kilometers per hour, breaking a record in the process. Son of Beast was designed to feel like a continuation of another one of the park's famous attractions, known as the Beast. In May of 2002, the ride was finally given its official opening. However, it was met with overwhelmingly poor reviews. The ride was so severe that it caused multiple people to get injuries, including one man who broke his neck in 2001, and another man who suffered an injury like that in the same year. During the off-season, PKI, which is responsible for operating the park, attempted to implement changes that would make the ride less bumpy and more secure. In 2003, a woman suffered a serious back injury while riding the roller coaster. In 2006, in response to a slew of issues, PKI reinforced certain components of the construction and retracted certain sections of the ride. However, on July 9, 2006, the Son of Beast ride started to begin with 27 riders on it. But they had no idea what they were going to face. On the same day in 2006, on July 9th, during one of the rides, the support structure of the ride broke, which caused the track to droop. The Rose Bowl section of the ride experienced a structural breakdown, which resulted in a tiny dip in the track, which gave the ride the appearance of having potholes. After the track had been sagging, the first train was able to go over it without any problems. But when the second train, which contained 27 passengers, ran over the damaged section, it resulted in a horrific accident. The passenger car that was traveling over the region with 27 other people on board sustained severe head and neck injuries as a result of the incident. The ride operator observed the injuries and immediately stopped the ride by pressing the emergency stop button. This prevented a potential disaster from occurring when a third train would have gone over the damaged piece of the track. It was approximately 4:45 when the accident took place. Those who were there at the accident claimed that the roller coaster came to an abrupt stop with a bump. Following the event, a number of different rescue teams were dispatched to the park in order to assist. 27 patients were sent via ambulance to various hospitals for initial medical evaluation and care. A spokesperson for Kings Island stated that when the riders completed the circuit, they complained of pain and discomfort in their back and neck. According to her, the emergency personnel at the amusement park took care of the riders and phoned the police. According to a representative for both hospitals, 12 patients were transported to Bethesda North Hospital, while 10 patients were transported to Bethesda Medical Center. A number of additional people, according to the sheriff operator, were transported to the Mercy Hospital of Fairfield. 25 of the riders have been discharged from the hospitals where they were treated, but 2 of them were still being treated there since they were injured. But luckily, their injuries are not considered to be life-threatening. Today, investigators from the Ride Safety Division of the Ohio Department of Agriculture stated that in the middle of the ride, some of the wood on one side of the ride's downhills was cracked and split. Weldon Schaffer was a passenger on Son of Beast at the time of the tragedy. Investigators claimed they weren't sure if the cracking and splintering caused the accident. Park spokeswoman noted that structural deterioration is the cause of 10% of roller coaster accidents. He said everything was fine until it felt like everything jammed forward. After then, Son of Beast remained closed as the ride was subject to further examination. It's possible that the accident could have been avoided if the crack had been found and fixed in time. The investigation concluded that the wood used in the ride's construction was of good quality, but the reinforcements and modifications made by PKI had caused specific parts to experience too much stress, causing the crack and leading to the failure. However, Son of Beast remained closed for the whole 2006 season. Changes were made to the ride for the 2007 season, following the incident that occurred on this ride in 2006. Lighter trains were substituted for them before the next season began. At this point, the loop was also eliminated from the system, but it remained rough and caused more injuries, including a death in 2007. Son of Beast was eventually closed in 2009. The accident that injured the riders in 2006 resulted in a total of 5 legal actions, of which 4 were resolved outside of court. In the 5th instance, a judge ruled that King Island had to pay more than $76,000 in damages to the complainant. A forensics investigator stated that Kings Island had known since the year 2000 that the attraction had significant issues with swaying, but park authorities had not taken adequate steps to rectify the issue. 2011 was the year that saw the conclusion of the final lawsuit brought against Kings Island. Son of Beast had been closed for years after 2009. In July of 2012, Kings Island revealed that the roller coaster would be taken out of the park for good. It was taken over by Banshee, a new steel roller coaster, in 2014. Son of Beast was a roller coaster that started out with a lot of problems. It hurt and hurt a lot of riders, and was finally shut down because it was too rough and unsafe. Give a like if the video touched you and leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe for related videos.